Yeah, that puts Horn at the 5, who has versatility, can stretch out if need be, and you can obviously throw it in interior. And I've always felt Dalger for Tulsa this season is a huge component to their success because they don't have a lot of depth at the 4 and 5.
Horn trying to get T off to a start, and he does. Jariah Horn.
Great break right there with purpose, sharp ball movement. And again, the versatility of Horn, he's shooting at 43% from three-point range this year as a big.
He made 5 against Oral Roberts, capable of being very explosive. 28 points in the season opener, and then had 30 against Oral Roberts. Shot clock down to 8 for the Salukis. Domask pitches it in the corner. Coupette Jr. answers with a 3 of his own.
Well, he has been such a great addition. You talked about the potential depth that the Salukis will have once they get a couple of key components back, but Coupette, guy that can score at all 3 levels, and knocks down a big one right there.
Began his collegiate career at UNLV, then to Little Rock. Now playing for these Salukis. Shot clock is at 8 for the freshman point guard Pritchard. A kick out for Haywood, and Tulsa is 2 for 2 from three-point range. That's a very welcome sight there.
Well, Haywood is a guy that doesn't score a bunch, but he's their most accomplished defender, most trustworthy defender in terms of Frank Hayes' eyes. And he's a guy that can knock down open shots when they're there. That's a good sign.
25% three-point shooter for the year, but hit that when Domask is off the mark and rebounded by Curtis Haywood. There goes Sam Griffin, turned away by Domask.
Well, both these teams, Chad, their priority. So Horn gets a soft touch right there.
That's a Reynolds center roll right there for Jariah Horn. He's got 2 threes.
That's like you at your local golf course. That's a member bounce.
That's a member bounce, exactly. So 2 threes for Horn, 3 for Tulsa so far.
Well, and what's going to happen is both these teams at some point are not going to knock down these shots. They're so solid defensively.
Yeah, when's that going to happen?
Everything's coming from the perimeter right now for both these teams because they are protect, drive first type defenses. Now you got to extend out if you're both Southern Illinois and Tulsa.
You know, Jones led the Missouri Valley Conference in three-point shooting last year, but it hasn't been there so far this year. Maybe that's a sign.
But he's still been productive.
Yes.
You know, he can get to the rim as good as anybody. Physical to do that. And they'll start falling for sure over time.
Pritchard attacks. His shot is pinned by Coupette Jr. Here come the Salukis. Coupette Jr. with a seam. I don't know how he got that one up. There wasn't much space at all.
I like what Domask did right there. You know, pushed it up with purpose and let the play develop. And Coupette, nice cut to the rim right there and goes right around Horn for the lay-in.
9-8 Tulsa. 3 minutes in. That ball tipped.
You know, you look at their schedule and their 5 losses. All 4 they led down the stretch and weren't able to score, or 4 of those 5, I should say, outside of the Utah game. So they're right there. And you've got a freshman point guard that's still learning. But some of those veterans guys have got to step up for them. But fixable, correctable, and he still likes his team long term.
Stephen Verplanken Jr. has done a lot of that this year. He's 17 of 33 from three-point land this year.
Excellent three-point shooter, deep range, and right there again, Tulsa's got to be out, extend as far as Verplanken is on the perimeter on the catch.
That was a great drive and dish by Pritchard, and Dalger gets the dunk. Man, this is up-tempo. 11 apiece, and we're only 4 minutes in.
So based on what we just said in the open about Grinder, have we already lost our credibility?
Perhaps, but there's a long way to go, partner. 15 to shoot for Southern Illinois. For Planklin to Domask. Horn is right there with him. Domask pivots. Horn blocked it. Taken by Dalger. Jariah Horn, excellent post defense there. And now he'll try to back down. Horn, he is more than just a three-point shooter, Brendan.
Yeah, and smart, you know, veteran experience. So in transition, he gets the matchup with Banks. Obviously a clear size differential. Notice Tulsa as a team seeing that as well and giving him the space to go to work.
Domask. This is Dalton Banks. A little strong with that. Jariah Horn with another rebound. Curtis Haywood, he's got 2 threes on the day. So Tulsa is rinsing it. They're 4 of 4 from three-point range.
Yeah, and Haywood, again, he's just a solid player. A lot of things don't pop up in the stat sheet with him, and if you can get him to knock down a couple of those a game, it'd be huge opening up for those main scores like a Horn and Griffin over time.
D'Amico shut down, finds for Plankin, cutting back door. Good extra pass. Domask for 3. It's good. So Tulsa 4 of 4, and Southern Illinois is 5 out of 6.
And once Southern Illinois creates some kind of help, and you get the cutter right there, and he forces the help situation, they are great passers. Extra passes, crisp, sharp, they really share it well.
16-14 Tulsa. Approaching our first media stoppage. Pritchard underneath.
For each of these teams respectively, expected to be a strength. I think over time, that's what you'll see.
Gavin Elkamil is in for the first time for Tulsa. We see the defensive stalwart, Darian Jackson as well. Domask and Jones both tipped that. That's going to be over and back and a turnover.
And Frank Haith wanted Tulsa, his ball club, to be really active defensively. And going with a smaller lineup, you get a little more athleticism. This is a team that really doesn't pick up full court very often. And they forced 46 turnovers in the last 2 games as a half-court defensive team. And it's not just man, they play zone as well. So they are active and aggressive.
And Southern Illinois is tough to turn over. They really struggled their first game of the year. In fact, they turned it over 23 times. And Brendan Mullins told us it was a disaster. But since then, the most turnovers they've had has been 11. Elkamil with the shot clock at 2 and ignored the buzzer. The shot clock did not go off.
Yeah, excellent team defense right there from the Salukis.
Coupette Jr. lines up a 3 and he hits it.
So I told you earlier, it doesn't take much help. You saw Domask, one dribble, bring a defender his direction and just kick. And that's what they're great at. Force a little help, move it quickly to an open teammate.
How about 5 out of 6 from three-point range for the Salukis to start this?
Well, Frank Haith's hoping the three-point shooting does not even out for Southern Illinois all in one game.
5 seconds to shoot. Ray Idowu, who has checked in. Working one-on-one, couple of good ball fakes, but couldn't finish it. And that's another thing Frank Haith said. We got to finish the bunnies. Got to take care of those. Coupette Jr. off to a hot start, and it continues. That's his third made 3. He's got 8 points.
It's amazing once you get a couple free looks early as a team and you make them, it becomes contagious. Even if they start being better defended, Tulsa's extended out a little more than they were early, but sometimes that basket, once it opens up, it takes a while to close it off defensively.
Domask off the mark there, only the second miss from three-point range for Southern Illinois. Here's Pritchard, and just lost that ball. I think he was going to try to pass it. And Vilovich.
Guy with a high IQ. He's got great feel and just knows how to play.
This Southern Illinois team continues to get healthier. Coupette Jr. was hurt early but came back. Anthony DeVonzo, the same thing about him for head coach Brian Mullins. We talked about Domask, who missed all of last season. And they've got Dalton Banks, who's wearing a mask. He broke his nose the day before the Alcorn State game and still played in the game with a broken nose and a mask on one day.
And a lot of toughness. I mean, there's depth, but a collective toughness to this team. We talked about them winning a lot of grinders so far this year. They've only played 3 home games, and that's part of the reason they've been successful.
Sam Griffin trying to get things going for Tulsa. Second leading scorer for the Golden Hurricane. Here's some three-quarter court pressure.
And you got to watch Griffin when you play him. Once he gets one to go down, he is that guy that scores in bunches. And got mid-range game, can shoot the 3, can get to the rim. So you're aware of him every time you play Tulsa, but you got to heighten that when he starts making his first shot.
He's had a pair of 21-point games this season for TU. Long 3 by Lance Jones is strong. And the Golden Hurricane battle each other for that one. It was knocked away from Jackson by Dalgard. Coupette Jr. could not continue his red-hot start. Idowu the rebound. Nearly midway through this opening half, 21-18 Southern Illinois, and Idowu, again, close range, couldn't finish it, but he will shoot a pair. The foul is on Kyler Filovich.
And Idowu, you know, he's becoming a big for Tulsa that has some legitimacy when you throw it into him. And I think every team, whether you have a guy that can go get you 15 or more inside or someone like Idowu who's serviceable, you have to have somebody that can put pressure on the defense and the interior. He continues to develop that. And you've seen him since he's come in the game, this game off the bench, their initiative to get him some touches in there.
Need to get production from him, the combination of him and if Josh Early is healthy and fully able to go. But just a little something in that 5 spot when they play bigger. 1-point game. Idowu hits them both. And Tulsa with the pressure once again. Troy D'Amico just checked into the game, freshman from Chicago. He's seen more playing time recently, and there he is with it, 23 for the Salukis.
Yeah, they really like him, and for a young guy, he's got great toughness, and he's playing more and more as the season progresses.
And Frank Haith is getting on Steven Anderson, our chief referee today. I don't know what exactly that was about. It's over on the far side of the floor, Brendan. He is chuckling but not fully satisfied with the explanation, Frank Haith.
Well, one thing about Steve Anderson, he is really great communicating with coaches. He really does a good job of that. Diffusing them at times.
Diffusing is a good word. Filovich slipping in the backside. D'Amico rejected, sent away by Dalger.
When the ball goes in the post, we talked about that for Tulsa, establishing interiors. Southern Illinois will do the same. Now, they don't get anything here. This is a good block from the backside from Dalger. But D'Amico and Banks also provided 2 options, 2 windows, if you will, to pass to out of that post.
Griffin drills that 3. Here he comes, Brendan.
Well, right there, transition D101. The basket's got to be protected. Second thing is you've got to pick the ball up as high on the floor as you can and just able to get it too deep.
D'Amico slashes, finds Filovich for the lay-in.
Once again, great ball movement from the Salukis. There's no hesitation.
23 apiece, 9:15 to play first half. Griffin trying to get a screen from Idowu. Now they post Idowu against Filovich. Shot clock is at 10. And reset to Griffin. Got to get a shot away. Shot clock is at 5. Griffin spinning. Tipped in by Dalger, but they wipe it away. Offensive basket interference, goaltending. When Dalger was way up there, he could nearly touch the shot clock when he tipped that in.
Even if this is goaltending, it's almost like he jumps and he's got to hesitate in the air. Boom. He was going to go up with the left, switches to the right, but there's a little glimpse of Tim Dalger's athleticism. And as we said earlier, his continued development at this level, he's a JUCO transfer. You know, I was one of those, and I really felt like it took me a semester to get in the flow of high level of college basketball. But I think once they get into conference play, he is a key component because of his athleticism.
Verplanken continues to do what he's done all season. He's 18 of 34 from three-point range.
There's been a couple of times where Tulsa has lost shooters, and if there's anybody that you cannot lose, it's Verplanken.
26-23, Salukis on top. They have made 7 of 11 from three-point range today. Shot clock is at 12 as Griffin resets it for TU. And Darian Jackson draws a foul with 7 on the shot clock. That'll be against Lance Jones.
And when you play Southern Illinois, Chad alluded to it earlier, that, you know, Coach Brian Mullins was an excellent defender in his days at Southern Illinois. 2-time Missouri Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Year. So that's going to be his priority in terms of him teaching his team how to play the right way. They do a great job of containment. It's kind of gap defense, but they pressure you enough where you don't really get comfortable. You're seeing that here in the last couple of possessions defensively for them.
Dowger misses that three. Southern Illinois trying to build upon a 3-point lead. Mula sets the screen. Shot clock runs down 15. Patient offensive set here. Good Tulsa defense. Plankin slips it inside of Mula, and TU takes it away. Here comes Griffin. Now they post Jeriah Horn against Mula, taking him off the dribble. Horn falls away, and Mula got it.
You're a college basketball person, you understand how great a league the Missouri Valley has been. The fan bases, the quality of basketball as good as any league in the country. It certainly was when Tulsa was in it. It still is. I like the way the team's playing this week, as you well know, Chad. You know, if you look up here in the arena, in the 80s and 90s, there's 10 banners up of Tulsa Missouri Valley Conference championships, regular season, and tournament. And those are 10 NCAA tournaments as well. So they had a great run in that great league before moving on to the WAC.
Southern Illinois has had more trips to the NCAA tournament than any other program in the Missouri Valley Conference. It's because they make plays like that.
And I really think Brian Mullins, you know, all coaches want to do a great job, but it means a lot to him, right? Because of his pedigree at Southern Illinois, and they just keep getting better and better every season.
This high-low lob there is going to put Darian Jackson at the foul line. Darian Jackson just kind of doing his thing. 108 career games, 110 career steals coming in. And a lot of this, you can lob it to him, he'll go get it.
Yeah, athletic guard, just makes a lot of winning-type plays. His offensive production up a little bit this year, you know, at 9 points. He's not really a guy that I think you're going to get a lot more than that because of the way that he plays. And, excellent offensive rebounding guard. He's got toughness and a lot of leadership. I think the one thing that Frank Haith would like for him to do more, which he has historically in his career, is get back and do a better job at defensive rebounding, because that's an area Tulsa has struggled this year.
So we made both of those. Darian Jackson, the reigning American Conference 6th man of the year, shot 64% from the field last year. He's made some threes this year. He's made 4 threes, increased his range a little bit.
Yeah, not going to take a lot of them, but 4 of 10. I mean, you'll take that. Definite improvement from long range for Jackson.
28-27, Southern Illinois the lead. Under 7 minutes left. Baseline, Anthony DeVonzo. Good ball movement for Plankin, and he missed that one. There's that defensive rebounding from Darian Jackson. Jeriah Horn with the handles out front. They can play him so many different places, Jeriah Horn. Jackson wiggles along the baseline and throws it in reverse.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot defensively for the Salukis, just giving up a straight line drive. But Jackson just kind of let the play develop, and as soon as he had that angle on Banks, you saw that explosive step to the rim.
Golden Hurricane back on top by 1, 29-28. Banks into the baseline. Vonzo backs down Horn. Domask with the skip pass that's tipped out of bounds by Horn with 4 on the shot clock.
And Tulsa recovering a lot better defensively right there when help was for. See this right here? Kept the dribble alive, right? And then Banks does not get over and use that baseline to cut him off. And Jackson makes him pay.
Darian Jackson's got 4 off Frank Haith's bench, 4 on the shot clock. Banks got wide open for that shot. No good. Into the hands of Pritchard. Well, they love this freshman point guard. Frank Haith said we're super pleased with him. He's getting more and more comfortable, in particular on the defensive end.
Well, the game has been slow to him. You usually don't see that in freshmen. He doesn't get sped up very much.
Haywood might have to take a desperation 3. Rebounded by Idowu. Tulsa gets a reset. Horn bumped by Domask. That is foul number 5 on Southern Illinois. Tulsa doesn't foul much at all as a team, Brendan. They've only committed 1 foul in the half, the Golden Hurricane.
Well, they're a position defensive team, first and foremost, and then in terms of where the ball is. And then they'll extend out a little bit, which allows them to create some turnover opportunities. But I'm telling you, I think it's something that a lot of teams struggle with in college basketball is giving up dribble containment out front. And Tulsa does not do that very often. So they're in position to defend without fouling.
Shot clock is at 10 for Sam Griffin. Griffin goes to work. Baseline, Dalbert, service, 3 to shoot. Fall away behind the backboard is no good. Lance Jones the rebound. He wants to push it a little bit. Verplanken out of the corner, no. And Darian Jackson with another rebound. The shooting has cooled a little bit both ways, would you say? There goes Dalger, circling to the bucket for the deuce.
Yeah, there's that athleticism right there from Dalger, and you can already see his development in Game 10. There was no hesitation in that. I mean, the opportunity was there, and he just drove it with strength.
That is what he's capable of, and why he was back in the starting lineup today. He can score. 4 minutes to play in the opening half. Shot clock is at 10. Domask lines up and hits a 3.
Yeah, and at 6'6", you have Pritchard, who is slow to come over to the ball. I mean, you have to be there on the catch with Domask. And Pritchard was slow, and he makes him pay there.
Domask hits the 3, and Darian Jackson counters for the Golden Hurricane.
And Tulsa's best possessions so far, Chad, has been when they are cutting hard and with purpose. You cannot stand offensively when you play Southern Illinois. They're too sound on the defensive end.
33-31 Golden Hurricane. Jones probing and then threw it away. So,
yeah, 2 high-level scores in Horn and Griffin. Obviously, it's two pretty good pickups, right? And then your point guard play from a freshman in Pritchard, a local kid out of Tulsa Webster that they love. Right? You see on cue.
Love it when a play comes together.
Get some of our credibility back right there.
Sam Griffin knocks down to 3. One of those talented newcomers. Domask trying to work his way down the lane, but cannot. Coupette Jr. is back in. He's had a big start so far. And that's an air ball from Domask, and the shot clock was at 8. But Ryan Mullins didn't like the physicality maybe that was being allowed defensively on the part of Tulsa.
Yeah, I think there was a drive where the defender gave up an angle and used their hands to stave that off. I'm glad when I played you could use your hands on the drive. I would have never kept anybody in front of me.
Horn, quick catch and shoot 3, and it's on the mark for Jeriah Horn.
Again, versatility. He's got Mula, who's better at banging inside and leaning on you. Not that he was in poor defensive position, but that's stretching Mula for Southern Illinois out where it's not his strength defensively.
You can almost see it. When Horn's feet are set, it's going down most of the time.
Well, this is important here. You get an 8-point lead with the ball, 2 minutes left to close the half against a quality opponent. How do you handle this? And see, right there, these are the things that Frank Haith is trying to get his team to understand. That's just a careless turnover.
Under 2 minutes left, Tulsa's largest lead is 8. Golden Hurricane with an 8-0 run right now. Southern Illinois trying to shut that down. Coupette Jr. gliding to the bucket, and he will go to the foul line. Boy, he is smooth, and his ability to make threes creates that space.
Yeah, no question. And when we talk about all 3 levels, we're talking about the ability to knock down a long-range shot, mid-range game, he has that as well, and then this, the ability to attack a poor closeout. And Horn right there was trying to get there and run him off the line, but good decision by Coupette. Again, like you said, Chad, one plays off the other, right? You make shots from 3, and then when those closeouts are like that, you can go by.
And there wasn't a lot of room for new faces on this roster. They returned 97% of their scoring from a season ago, but when you can add a piece like this, a 6th-year collegiate player, bring him in, a guy that you're familiar with, well, it is a big feather in your cap.
Yeah, and he's really fit in seamlessly. And we talked about his offensive ability, but defensively, I mean, he's really good. He's got length, he's got size, he's got experience to understand that you got to defend at this level and the importance of it. I mean, he's been a great addition.
So the 8-0 Tulsa run stopped, but they'll pick right back up. That's a beautiful feed from Haywood to Horn.
Horn is like, how'd you get that ball through there? And the reason was the two defenders had lost sight of the ball. Haywood knew that. It's like a quarterback throwing it right by a defensive back who has his back to the play.
Like smoke through a keyhole. Shot clock is under 10. And a steal. Idowu and Horn each get there. Here comes Jackson. Under a minute left. Tulsa's going to work through a set here on offense in the hands of Griffin. Going to visit with Tulsa women's head coach Angie Nelp coming up. Here at halftime, it'll be good to visit with her. They're off to a perfect 7-0 start. 3 no good out of the corner by Griffin. And about 2 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So Southern Illinois can hold for the final look.
And Tulsa right here, Chad, this is about being sound. You can't gamble. You got to keep everything in front, and this has got to be a tested perimeter shot defensively if you're Tulsa.
8-point lead for the Golden Hurricane. This is a 10-2 run by them to close out the half. Coupette Jr. putting it on the deck. Squeezes through defenders, but missed it. And that combined to make 8 of the first 9 3-point tries at the start of the game. We'll see if the second half begins as the first did. Backdoor cut. Horn lost it on the way up. Dalger tipped that out, but it goes out of bounds.
Well, that's unfortunate for Tulsa. Obviously, coaches come out at halftime on your first offensive possession, you set something up. And that was for a layup right there. Would have put Tulsa up 10.
Blanket. Now Domask, and we look off the ball. Dalger with a discard down beneath of Mula. Mula's not an easy guy to get down. He's about 6'8", 240. Mula, one of 2 Canadian players, the first 2 Canadians on this SIU roster, along with Kyler Filowich. Domask, good first step to get himself to the window.
Yeah, Domask, I mean, just strong, tough, and he can absorb contact. We talked about his decision-making. Angle giving up right there and able to go finish.
Super creative playmaker is Domask. Here's Pritchard. Working through the lane, got himself into no man's land and got tied up by Coupette Jr. And the held ball possession arrow goes the other way. That's been a rarity. This freshman has been a good decision maker early in his TU career.
Yeah, he's got a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. And like we talked about, typically the game is slow to him. One of the things that a lot of young players struggle with is getting too deep with nowhere to go, and that's what happened on that possession.
Lance Jones, a corner 3 to start the scoring in half number 2.
Well, Jones not able to get going in the first half, and he is an explosive scorer, so Tulsa did a good job on him, but you cannot sleep or rest on Lance Jones because he can flat out score. Got a tremendous scorer's mentality.
That is 9 threes for the Salukis today. Shot clock is at 10 for Griffin and the Golden Hurricane. Dalger with the 3 ball. And there's Domask. Southern Illinois could tie this game up with a made 3. They get a pretty good look at one right here. And there's Curtis Haywood in to grab the rebound. Griffin trying to turn the corner. That fall away was pretty, just leaning back from 12 feet.
Now that's what makes him tough. We talked about he can flat out shoot it, but he has mid-range game and he gets that deep. And he uses that athleticism when he leaves his feet to elevate and score over the top.
Domask got Horn off of his feet, then went by him to the bucket. A follow no by Mula. Dalger says, I better wait for reinforcements here. Frank Haith up directing things for this Tulsa attack. Domask, good switch there. He guards Griffin. Griffin whips it inside, and Dowger's going to go to the free throw line. Creativity from Griffin, creating free throws for Dowger.
Yeah, and Tulsa had great spacing here, and I like this out of Griffin. You know, one of the things that he could improve on is playmaking because he draws so much attention. He does that here, and then you essentially have Dowger hiding, waiting along that baseline, the short corner, a nice little flash to make himself available.
Dowger came out of Independence Community College, played high school at Calvary Christian in Fort Lauderdale. So you go from Fort Lauderdale to Independence Community College. A little different.
Certainly in weather. I don't know if Tim's a golfer, but you know what? That is not true. Kansas has some great golf courses.
Absolutely. So the reset for Curtis Haywood on the miss.
And going back to that position, you see guys rotate over. I mean, Griffin is that kind of player because he can get to the rim and score. And as the defense shifted, as they should, that's when Griffin makes a play.
There's Griffin, cut off on the baseline. Darian Jackson bangs his way inside and missed it. I mean, that one was point-blank range. And then a foul on the rebound. Darian Jackson can't believe it. He was so wide open that it was almost hard to shoot it.
And you mentioned it earlier, Chad. I mean, see right here. I mean, he's got the angle. The defender and Jones is out of position. The key is to keep your drive alive and keep attacking.
And they're going to look at the contact from Darian Jackson up around the face of Lance Jones. And that's what they are reviewing. Let's look again here.
There he is. He's turning the corner. Yeah, I don't think you're going to find anything there. He didn't extend. He didn't lower the shoulder. He didn't extend the left arm. It's just kind of one of those situations where you got two strong 20-something-year-olds battling right there.
Darian Jackson say, "What'd I do?" And we appreciate Stephen Anderson communicating. As you said, very good at communicating with us. It's being relayed now by Jason Baker right there to head coach Brian Mullins. Give us the resolution of that one, Brendan.
And typically when it's because a lot of those monitor visits are not short, and that one was fairly quick, so you typically know that means there was nothing.
Dowger gets one of two. Curtis Haywood got his hands on another rebound. Tulsa has been excellent on the boards today, and that was a big key coming in for Frank Haith. So we got a rebound better. Our guards got to go get balls. Yeah,
not a big team. It's some similarities with Brian Mullins and his Southern Illinois team in that way. And so you don't have to have bigs that go get 6-8 rebounds a game. It's nice. You can overcome it, particularly on the defensive end, if your guards go in there and rebound. And Tulsa has put an emphasis on that. It's been better this afternoon.
There goes Griffin, and he scores it with a foul. Griffin can be explosive.
Again, playmaking, and this time you have shooters. Salukis can't help, and so the decision making, keep that dribble alive in that offhand and continue to flow to the rim.
Well, Griffin physically getting to the bucket there. He's got a dozen. Horn has 15. And Tulsa has its largest lead now at 10 points.
And it's interesting, Chad, with Griffin, with his ability, and he attacks. But he's a guy that rarely goes to the foul line. He hadn't been to the line. It's the first time in 4 games for Sam Griffin. I think if he adds that, meaning create the contact when you get down there, I mean, he's going to be that much more difficult to defend.
10-point Tulsa lead. This is a 7-0 run for the Golden Hurricane. Coupette drills the three. There's the answer from the guy who's had the answers all day long.
And a nice job of Banks recognizing who's in the corner right there. He goes back to him again. One hard dribble, draw a little help, penetrate, kick.
So Coupette now with 18 to lead the Salukis. Shot clock at 13 as Griffin goes to work. And threw that ball behind his teammate Curtis Haywood over there.
And one of the things that Tulsa has gotten at times this game is off-ball screen, the switch from Southern Illinois. And Griffin had D'Amico, the freshman big, on him right there. I mean, that's just an indication Griffin needs to tell everybody to get flat or stay spaced. I'm going to attack this guy right here, and just a careless turnover.
6th Tulsa turnover. Southern Illinois trying to cut into the 7-point lead. Loose ball.
Tuesday against Loyola Marymount. Griffin has 8 in a loss recently on the road at Oral Roberts. I mean, those guys are consistent every night, but defensive, you can take one away, you give yourself a chance. The challenge for Tulsa has been, is there a third guy that can play off those two consistently? And you can't expect them to carry the load every single night.
And that was one of your keys for Southern Illinois, is they need to slow down that tandem. They averaged 34 per game combined, and they're on pace to get well over that today, are Griffin and Horn. Shot clock is at 13. Inside, Filowich posting hard against Idowu. Just kind of waves his hand at that whistle that comes from the baseline. That's the first on Idowu.
Yeah, Filowich is a strong guy. And you talk about last year as a freshman, he got thrown into the fire because of Mula's injury. He started 16 games, was an all Missouri Valley Conference freshman. I mean, you start going up and down this lineup, Chad, with the returners and a couple of nice additions. I mean, this Southern Illinois team has a chance to be really deep as soon as they get healthy.
Banks with 8 on the shot clock, missed. And off the Haywood rebound, Griffin attacks. Idowu wide open to finish with 2 hands.
One of the improvements that I have seen through the course of the season for Tulsa is just their spacing. And when we think about spacing, most of the time you're thinking about the half-court offensive step. And that's just kind of a secondary transition basket that had great spacing.
Coupette fouled on his way up, and he will shoot a pair.
Yeah, anytime you come down a transition, Chad, if you can get the ball flat, see, which means along the baseline, and you've got that big running hard to the rim. And again, Southern Illinois right there losing the sight of ball and man. And that allowed Idowu to slip behind, flash, make himself available.
You know, this is that part of the game that Frank Haith was also talking about with us earlier. They've had games where they've had nice leads, 6, 8, 10-point leads at this range of the game. And finishing games is not necessarily just about the final 3 or 4 minutes. It's about how do you play with the lead. You don't want to be one of those heat check guys. Were you a heat check guy? You come down, get a heat check, and the other team shoots a 3 because you missed?
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I played for coaches that
they didn't allow the heat check.
No.
The heat check meant a seat check for you, as in you were seated on the bench.
And I play with some pros, which I was not one. But no, I think that you're right. Collectively, obviously, what you do within a 40-minute game, it's the final 4 or 5 minutes where your decisions, good and bad, are just magnified.
Shot clock at 10. Horn trying to post against the young freshman D'Amico. Unfriendly roll there, but a foul on the floor. Idowu was trying to go get that rebound. And who fouled him? They whistle Coupette.
You know, what's nice about this is Idowu was alone in terms of attacking the offensive glass, but he had all that size, had the advantage there physically. And even though there are 3 Salukis down there, he's able to help keep Tulsa with the basketball.
Idowu misses from inside. A little bit of contact. Filowich the rebound. Good penetration there by Griffin, and Darian Jackson comes up with a steal. 2-on-2. Jackson all the way by himself, coast to coast. Defense leads to offense.
Yeah, careless turnover right there from the Saluki, particularly on the defensive end. You know, Southern Illinois, rebounding for them last season was a struggle, but they've only been out-rebounded twice all of this year. And so an improved rebounding team, but yet Tulsa has really handled themselves well in that category here this afternoon.
Filowich worked so hard, and Idowu just turned him away and denied him. Griffin trying to go up and under, missed it.
Opportunity right there for Griffin to create contact. D'Amico way out of position, slower, tough matchup right there.
2 misses for the Salukis. Filowich has it knocked out of bounds by Idowu, and it stays on this end. Frank Haith going to get that senior presence back in there as they will go back to that smaller lineup and replace Idowu with Jeriah Horn. Lance Jones. And Coupette makes another 3. Coupette's just moving around and knocking him down.
Quick release. I mean, he is, you have to be on the catch. I mean, there's no other way around it. He is not needing much room here this afternoon to get him to go down. He's having a great game.
He's hit 6 threes on the day. Horn posting against Verplanken. Darian Jackson reverses it. Out of sorts here and threw it away. Disjointed possession. Jones the other way. Converts for Southern Illinois. And we've got Brian Mullins was an assistant with Porter Moser at Loyola Chicago, and Frank Haith and Porter Moser were assistants together at Texas A&M.
Well, that was going to be a turnover. Well, what I like about him, he was a point guard at a high level. Excellent defender. And you mentioned Porter Moser, another good defensive stop right there from Southern Illinois. This is how you get back into games. But, you know, we see Oklahoma a lot, you and I, and there's a lot of similarities, obviously, in the way that he coaches and Porter Moser. They're both teachers of the game at both ends. Number one, see Horn right there. Hey, anytime you extend your arm, there's a little acting, but anytime you extend it, you know, the officials are going to give the defender the benefit of the doubt.
And now I think they're going to look at that contact above the neck made by Horn. We'll review this right here.
So the question is, you know, how much contact was made right there? But as I said, what you see, there's a smile on Jones's face.
Yeah.
But anytime you post and extend your arm, I mean, to post, you use your lower body. Typically, it's the best way to get position anyway.
So referees at the monitor. That's Sean Cassidy and Steven Anderson. And it looks as though they have just called the common foul against Jeriah Horn, and let's play on. That's the 4th Tulsa foul and the 1st on Jeriah Horn. No foul trouble either way. This has been a foul-free game. I say that hoping to not jinx things over the final 12 minutes. 52-47. Southern Illinois a chance to cut into this lead a little bit more. They've scored the last 5. And Jones gets the offensive foul as Pritchard took the ball from him. That is 4 on Jones.
And again, anytime you extend that arm, there wasn't much there, but Jones can appreciate a little acting, if you will. I mean, he did a good job of it himself defensively on the previous possession.
That is 4 fouls, so he has to go to the bench, and Dowger attacks immediately going off the window.
Yeah, and I mentioned it in the first half, Chad, with Dowger, when he has attacked, it's without hesitation. Earlier in the year, more uncertainty, more apprehension, but not here this afternoon. Just quick decision and go.
So Tulsa maintains that 7-point lead. Filowich blocked by Jeriah Horn. Long pass ahead for Dowger. And now Tulsa's going to settle in. Again, playing with the lead, making good decisions, taking good shots. Here's Dowger sliding baseline. What a spin. Well, shot the air ball. Leave Filowich open. Domask, you don't want to leave him open. And he missed that one. Coupette had it stripped. And Haywood is wrapped up by Coupette. It's going to be 5 fouls against the Salukis. No free throws just yet. What do you think they're discussing here? As we see Sean Cassidy and Steven Anderson talking it over.
I think they're just confirming what was called, make sure there wasn't any confusion, and it was the correct call. The foul that was committed on Curtis Haywood right there.
So was it a held ball or a foul? And it was a foul call. Tulsa settles in with a 7-point lead. Griffin has had a good afternoon once again. He's got 13. Horn has 15. And Horn attacks. Horn rises and shoots. 5 on the shot clock. Domask rebounds.
Yeah, you're going to have a tough time offensively if you don't have good ball movement and decision making against Southern Illinois. They're just too good at keeping in front defensively.
There's Coupette off the mark, but following it up is Domask. He missed it. D'Amico is fouled. It's going to be 3 attempts at it for Southern Illinois, and it pays off with a pair of free throws.
Kind of been a series of sloppy exchanges between these two teams over the last couple of minutes. Here's the miss, and Domask, typically he's going to finish that, and then D'Amico, no question right there, fouled on the arm.
So the foul is on the floor. It is the 5th foul against Tulsa. We move under midway through this second half. Tulsa's led by as many as 10. This is D'Amico. Back for Domask. D'Amico launches with 5 on the shot clock. Pritchard might have gotten a piece of that ball. And Tulsa takes it back the other way. Pritchard hasn't scored. He's got 3 assists. Southern Illinois is only 2 of its last 12 from the field. Jackson for Idowu. Works his way and missed it. And I think we have a foul against Mula from his reaction, and we will stay on this end. Foul on the rebound. But Tulsa's going to be in the bonus.
And I think they got that Mula is going to get a flop warning right here. Does a good job of forcing Idowu to go back over his left shoulder.
You're right, it is not
just
a foul,
flop
just a flop warning.
And one of the things that Southern Illinois has done a great job of, when Idowu is caught in the interior, they're taking away his right shoulder because he's left-handed and wants to go over that right shoulder. They've taken that away, and quite honestly, Idowu has trouble finishing going over his left shoulder.
And he's 1 of 4 from the field today.
Yeah, it's gotten better, and all his looks have been extremely close to the basket. He's gotten better at it, but he's got to show an effectiveness to score over that left shoulder so that he can get back to the right. I mean, those post guys, you hear me say it all the time. When they get it deep, you need 2 moves. Over right shoulder, over left shoulder.
But you need 2.
Right.
Coupette Jr. in and out. And up high for the rebound goes Dalgard. Coupette has not missed many today, but that miss out of the corner is his 3rd from 3-point range. He's made 5 of them. Shot clock down to 10. Horn rises and fires. And that's strong off the back of the iron. I don't believe Horn has scored in the second half.
Yeah, too much dribbling again from Tulsa. Like I said, Southern Illinois just keeping in front defensively. And you mentioned Horn, Chad. They haven't moved him much all over the floor. Whereas in the first half, he was getting looks everywhere.
Coupette Jr.'s now missed his last 3 from 3-point range. Both teams a little chilly offensively. But still a 7-point Tulsa lead with 8 minutes left.
It's amazing how things kind of even out over time.
The basketball gods are in charge. Shot clock down to 6. Dowger squeezes off a 3. No.
And you also see the different dynamic from Tulsa when Griffin's not in the game. Nice cut. Talked to Frank Haith earlier today. He was anticipating another close grinder down the stretch. We have a 2-possession game. And here's an opportunity to see if they're learning from the past, recent games. And when you talk to him, you know, they've got those 5 losses. We mentioned that 4 of them they led late in the game. And you can tell and read between the lines when a coach is just trying to be positive about his team. He still likes them. He thinks they got a chance to be a very good basketball team. And this will make him feel a lot better finishing here this afternoon.
Griffin off with that one. He got himself a little bit of space. Again, you'd like to see him get to the foul line on a play like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a couple of times here in the second half, again, where he's gotten down there, and he doesn't have a smooth or clean angle to the rim, but he's got an angle. You know, you can create contact and get yourself to the foul line if you do it a certain way.
Domask, a kick out for Coupette. It's knocked out of bounds with 10 on the shot clock. 6:47 to play. Low scoring second half here. Tulsa scored 41 points in the first half. They've scored now just 13 in half number 2. Southern Illinois only scored 16 in the second half. D'Amico on the attack. Coupette for 3, and he's back on track out of the corner.
That's a pretty skilled play from D'Amico right there. I mean, he's got a little versatility. You know, he was an inside-out type player in high school. So, you know, typically big guys like that, coaches will just throw him on the block. But he's got a lot more skill and versatility than one might think. And right there, he knew exactly what he was doing, Chad. He drove to the heart of the defense, and he knew once that defense collapsed, he could kick it to the corner.
And if you're Frank Haith, you got to be saying, what is going on? Coupette had made 8 threes all season. He's made 6 today. And there's the first bucket for the freshman point guard Pritchard. 4-point game, 56-52. Anthony Pritchard, the big shot for Tulsa. 6 minutes left. D'Amico directing traffic. They close out on Coupette, 10 on the shot clock. Domask, he hits the 3, and we have a 1-point game.
And Tulsa got caught right there. I'm not sure if Dowger communicated on the screen or not, but regardless, Horn has to go over the top of that with a shooter as excellent as Domask.
That's his 3rd made 3 of the day. Southern Illinois within 1. They've made 13 threes on 29 tries. Horn trying to clear himself some space, and Mula was too much in there. And the Salukis have a chance to retake the lead. They've made 3 straight from the field. Tulsa, 1 of its last 8. And Domask cannot quite finish that one. Rebound. Darian Jackson takes it away. It's a big possession in this game right here with 5 minutes left.
And Frank Haith slows the freshman Pritchard down.
Sam Griffin watched by Verplanken. Now Domask has him on the switch. 5 seconds to shoot. Griffin has to go to work against Domask. Arcs one high off the glass, and he will go to the free throw line. That nearly fell. It results in a pair of free throws for Sam Griffin.
You know, honestly, that was better spacing, cutting, passing from Tulsa. But Southern Illinois played great scouting report defense on all the Tulsa defenders, so it was tough to get a good look. But one of the luxuries with Griffin is no matter what has gone on in the possession, if you don't have anything, you can hand it to him late in the shot clock, and he can go get you something.
So Griffin makes the first. The Tulsa lead is 2. And he got them both. Back to a 3-point margin. And Griffin has 15 now. Tulsa picks up a little bit of full court pressure here. .55 Golden Hurricane. 4.5 to play. Tulsa trying to snap a 3-game skid. Southern Illinois has won 3 straight. Shot clock down to 7. D'Amico trying to spin his way in. A great feed, and Mula finishes.
I'm telling you, D'Amico has made a couple of huge plays, creating a great poise, patience right there. Didn't panic. You don't see that from young players very often.
1-point game again with under 4 minutes left. Back into the hands of Sam Griffin. He's been excellent all game long. He pulls up for 3 this time. No. Mula falls down after getting the rebound, and it'll be a traveling violation against the Southern Illinois big man.
Well, we didn't lie to you. We got ourselves a grinder. The freshman, D'Amico, late in the shot clock, gets his team a layup. We got a 1-possession.
Well, Troy D'Amico is a player that this coaching staff really likes for Southern Illinois. They like his length defensively, but he's been a creator in this second half, Brendan.
Yeah, moves the ball at the right time, and you're going to see all 3 of his assists, and they're all late down the stretch. I mean, this is a pretty big guy with some perimeter skills, creating for teammates. And, you know, guess how many points he scored this afternoon? 0. But you don't have to score to make a big impact. They love this kid. They say he's got a toughness to him. He's physically, you know, a guy that's probably ahead of the game as a freshman in terms of strength, but mentally he plays old and made 2-3 huge plays here in the second half.
What a finish! Leaping high, Tim Dowger knifing down the lane. The feed from Horn and a big 3-point opportunity.
Well, we mentioned they haven't really moved Horn around offensively very much. He's been hanging around near the top of the key a lot of this second half. You put Horn on the block right there. He's skilled, a passer, draws attention, and the Dowger just plays off of it. And again, we talked about Dowger. He's becoming more aggressive, more confident offensively.
Cannot convert the 3-point opportunity. Tulsa's lead stays at 3. Dowger is the 3rd TU player in the double figures today. He has 10, joining Horn and Sam Griffin. Domask posting inside against Griffin. Help arrives. Domask missed it, but Mula rebounds. He gets a reset for D'Amico, who hits a 3. This freshman has stepped up big for Southern Illinois today.
And we specifically talked to assistant coach Brendan Mullins, Chad, and he made sure he didn't shoot around, and he pointed to him, said, we like this guy. That's why he's playing more, played 29 minutes against Evansville, played 20 minutes the other night against Southern Miss, and they're going with him down the stretch.
And a Tulsa turnover. Did not want that at this time of the game. That's Tulsa's 8th turnover of the day. And Southern Illinois has a chance to take the lead. We were tied at 31. That's the last time the Salukis were in this position in a tie ball game. Domask again backs down. Jump hook, no. And a big rebound for Curtis Haywood, his 8th rebound.
Yeah, that's several this half where Domask has gotten it deep and just hasn't been able to finish.
Who is going to finish? As predicted, a grinder at the Reynolds Center. Griffin. This is Lance Jones back in. 4 fouls on him. For Plinken, thought about it, but turned it down. Extra pass, corner 3, Lance Jones is short. Really hasn't been his specialty this season, just 25% from the 3 line.
No, and Tulsa dodges the bullets there because Griffin goes to double Domas, and they never got rematched up. And that's a wide open look. And Jones has struggled from there this year, but he, in his career, has been very capable of knocking down an open 3-pointer.
Led the Valley in 3-point shooting last season. Backdoor Haywood underneath is fouled. Tulsa getting to the foul line a bunch here in this second half. That's been a big deal for Frank.
Yeah, when you're in grinders, that's what you have to do, right? And Tulsa has not been a good team at getting to the foul line. They only average going there 12 free throw attempts a game. So that's a good sign. And maybe that is part of their maturation in terms of how they're finishing games, is understanding you got to get downhill and you've got to create some contact.
These are free throw attempts, 17 and 18 for the Golden Hurricane. Southern Illinois has only taken 7. big foul line advantage, and it continues. 4-point Tulsa lead. So 7 free throw attempts today for Southern Illinois. 15 free throw makes for Tulsa now. Minute 30 left. Coupette against Tim Dowger. Shot clock down to 15 for the Salukis. Verplanken, a fake and a drive. Got to the bucket, but short-armed it a bit. Tightly guarded by Jariah Horn.
Now here on this possession, Tulsa's job offensively is do not go too early, do not settle, and keep getting things going downhill.
And Griffin has gone downhill a lot today. He continues that and draws another whistle.
Frank has done a good job managing this stretch right here with tempo, controlling his team. He's got the offense in front of him, obviously, in the second half, and he's put it in Griffin's hands. They've spaced well, and again, in a one-on-one containment situation, Southern Illinois has had trouble keeping him in front. And then if you've had any kind of ball screen, it's allowed him to get an angle.
It's Griffin's first free throw miss of the day. He's now 5 out of 6. Second one is good. And Tulsa has made 5 straight free throws after this game was tied at 60. Light full court pressure just to try to take some time off the clock applied by Tulsa. 40 seconds remaining. Domask a 3, and he hits it. We've got a 2-point.
That's not an accident that he was on the floor at that time.
Darian Jackson got trapped on the inbounds play, but finds Griffin forward and finishing. 4-point Tulsa lead, 28 seconds left, virtually no difference. And a pocket pick by Dowger. He'll go to the free throw. And the lay-in from Griffin a short time ago for this 9-3 run here in the end of the game. 20 seconds left. Domask, a fake, squeezes off a 3, no. Jariah Horn the rebound, and Tulsa 12 seconds away from getting back in the win column. Horn can make it a 3-possession game. He's not scored in this second half. Tulsa needed this one today.
Well, as we talked about, it was set up where they would have to close, and they basically putting themselves in the same position as they have in recent games. Now, there's a lead, and Frank Haith's got his best defensive team out there, his best 5 at that end.
Jariah Horn missed both free throws. He's an 87% foul shooter. Coupette trying to make him pay for it. He missed it. Domask puts it up and in. 1.9 left and a 4-point game. Baseball pass down to Pritchard is intercepted by Lance Jones.